Every time you encounter a mirror, what do you think about? Apparently, statistics from the Social Issue Research Center estimate about 80% of women are unhappy with what is looking back at them and often turn to cosmetic things or cosmetic enhancements. But what if you could have designed yourself or your children according to the world's beauty standard? Like a designer baby, like picking and choosing different genes, hair color, eye color, height, weight, body shape. All these factors can play into the decision of a designer baby. And in this case, my friend Amanda, who's 7 months pregnant, kind of wishes that she could make her baby a designer baby of sorts, but in more of a medical issue. Her baby has a genetic heart disease and is required, once it is born, to go straight into surgery, and I am praying dearly for this child. And any parent in her situation would wish that they could design their children to have a strong heart. And with today's advancements in medicine, there is a way to genetically modify an embryo, but the question is the morality of it and the advancements of this field. Allow me to introduce to you the proposed techniques for genetic modification and ethical issues behind designer babies and humans' hands in the procreation of these babies. But first, let's review a little bit of biology to understand these techniques. And what I have here is a drawing. We have a male and a female, and as you know from biology class, males are XY chromosome and females are XX chromosome. And that's what gives them their sex. And from these, every human has 23 pairs of chromosomes, and then looking at two individuals, comparing them, they are 99.9% identical in their chromosomes. However, the 0.1% is unique, and that gives us our various eye colors and skin color and hair and weight and whatnot. But looking more into the chromosomes, they have genes, and genes are what give you these features. And within these genes, it can be seen within this karyotype. Karyotype is a mapping of chromosomes, and these are your 23 chromosomes. And within these have about 20 to 25,000 genes within them. And so that's what gives you your uniqueness or appearance on the outside. And so some of the current genetic modifications that can be made to a human is genetic screening, and that's just like a technique where sex selection falls under, and this is where in a male, his sperm can be separated from X and Y sperm, so that when it fertilizes an egg, you can determine whether it's a boy or a girl. And so in that, this is typically used for screening for a sex-linked disease, and so like muscular dystrophy. But in that also for genetic screening, a screen can be done for a female's eggs, and so in this, the eggs can be screened for whether the female has any traits that are genetic diseases in that way. And then also through that you can do a selection and implant of the eggs, and then this is called a pre-implantation genetic diagnosis. And this was first successful in 2001, where in the Nash family there was they had a little girl who was very sick, and she needed a donor of sorts, and so they did this pre-implantation genetic diagnosis and created a son who was the exact same blood type, blood tissue match, everything perfect, so that when he was born they used his umbilical cord to build her cells up and help her in that way, and giving her a 55% chance of more survival rate. And so as you can see, it's helpful in that way. And these are all legal in most countries, just for specifically for disease treating. And then there's gene therapy, and this is called basically cutting and inserting out genes, desired types and such. And so this was first seen in April 2001 with Andy the monkey. And basically what they did with Andy was they took some genes, they inserted it, and then they cut out some old ones, and they somehow made him fluoresce green with jellyfish genes in some way or form. And these advancements in medicine are both helpful and frightening all the same, like the monkey. So let's look now at the world in response to it. As you can discern, genetic modifications could work for the greater good by intercepting diseases and completely wiping them out. But sometimes these tools can be used for odd or selfish things, like cosmetics or designer babies. And so types of gene therapies that are debated are ones that modify specifically sperm, egg, or embryo and is not legal on humans at all, but has been proven to work. And so looking at articles from CNN or Telegraph articles, they both support this advancement in science in saying that it is a moral obligation of sorts to eliminate those kind of genes, like specifically medical or even like a predisposition for alcoholism that may run in families. And so all this could be medical, but then you know that it's going to be twisted in some shape or form to be cosmetic. And so looking from a biblical worldview, like if you were to have a designer baby, you don't know the child. Like you don't know, like if it's going to look in the mirror and be like, oh, I don't find myself as appealing or anything like that or lovely. And so, but God does. And even according to Luke 12:7, He knows the number of hairs on your head and everything. He knows you from the inside out, and you are beautifully and wonderfully made in God and such. And so addressing these social issues is a tough call. Now, after obtaining a better understanding for genetic techniques or ethical persistence of the world, you can see why now there's a controversy between all this. And on one hand, it could be used for medical reasoning to help a person. Another one, it could be twisted into something more. And so just kind of like this is where humanity has to discern what's right, what's wrong, and how to utilize God's gift to man of knowledge. And so in that, just keep in mind that God created you in His image, whether it be a vessel that embodies His strength specifically or His beauty. Man has been deemed good, and this was declared on the sixth day when man was created.